Do, 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 do. Okay, what's going to happen now? We're in the process of taking everything back out of storage and deciding what was in storage. So I have all these pieces of things that I had to rush, throw together, and put in the basement storage. So I never really got a chance to see what was happening. So that was like one of those weird, dramatic times in which I had no time to consider what I had to do, but had to come up with a quick solution to doing something. So now it's almost the same thing, doing a different thing. I have some slack time to play with now, as opposed to wow, things that catch you that way. Ooh. Anyway, that's 99% of my life. Okay, let's look back. Here's some things I put together of parts, bicycle parts. Being in the bicycle, you have a tendency, as long as I have at least, 60 years, no, 70 years, no, 75, no, yeah, about 70 years. 70 years of actually being interested in bicycling, seriously interested in bicycling, because up the road from where I was, my great-grandparents' home, which I was brought up in, there was another white house on top of that, not even a hill, because we were like down in the valley and back up on another little hill. So they were further up the road. It seemed like their house was higher than ours. I always think, damn, why is their house higher than ours? They have a white house. We had well, it wasn't painted. It was just wood, basically. Gray wood. It had aged. I always remember a gray house. Planks that kind of like semi-peeling apart for the different weathering conditions. Anyway, getting away from subject. They had a barn down from their white house. I used to always look at the barn. The barn was always kind of like leaning against something that wasn't really there. And I always wondered, well, why didn't it just go and fall down? Anyway, subsequently I got to know the kid who lived in that building, and somehow or another became friends with him and got a chance to go and look at that barn that I was always curious about. Then I got a chance to go inside that barn. That was like the most eeriest thing I ever encountered. All these strange things. And there, laying on the side, was a rusty bicycle. I always remember that rusty bicycle. And I immediately fell in love with it. And I had to figure out how to ride that thing. Never seen anybody ride a bicycle in my life, mind you, but I knew that was a bicycle. How did I know that was a bicycle? Anyway, so finally got around to actually becoming friends enough for him to let me take the bicycle out and ride down that little old small dirt hill. Can you imagine? I rode down a little small dirt hill on a bicycle, rusty bicycle. I couldn't reach anything, but I got on it. So I don't know how I got going, and then that became a thing. Dirt road, soft dirt. Anyway, so here's all of the remnants of all those years, mostly recent pieces. pieces. And what I've done recently was to recover a bicycle from a storage for everybody kicked me out of storage, yeah. What do they know? I don't know. Anyway, so I had my bicycle, this bicycle stored over in the bicycle shop on 2nd Avenue. And a couple of weeks ago, I smashed into a barricade, and a week later I realized when I got ready to go again that my shift lever integrated with the brake lever had been broken. So I took it over to the bike shop and got it fixed. In the meantime, they had brought up my old bicycle, looking at me, saying, "You gotta take that with you." And I said, "Well, I can't take it with me. I got one bicycle, and I can only carry one bicycle. So I'll be back later to get it." So I had to go back and get the bicycle. That bicycle belongs to my best friend, Herbie Francis, who rode to the Olympics on it. So now I have parts that came off of it, for some strange reason, still here. And I figured I would never throw away those parts. So sure enough, here's the Mayfax brake that goes on the front. It used to be my favorite track bicycle. I had it converted to ride it in the street. A man named Tom Avenia, I bought the bike from, and also took it back for him to convert it so I wouldn't be running into things in the street trying to stop the wheel with my legs. I had to have brakes since I was going so fast. Skidding along trying to stop wasn't really a good, pleasurable thing, especially if you got to the intersection and the light changed and you had to go down through traffic. Did that many times. Anyway, so decided I have to play it much safer. So if the light changed, at least I had brakes to clamp on and stop. I figured out how to go slide through traffic without getting hit. So I found the brake, and now I need to find some pedals. New pedals, type of pedals. Nice pedals. Look pedals. Can you imagine how the technology have changed? Whew. So basically, it's all these are changes that has occurred. Technological changes. This is a little bit more upscale. This one even more. My sense is going even further than this, by the way. So I have 4 sets of look pedals. I need to get another seat post. I hope this is the right, what is this here? This is 300 millimeters by 27.2 millimeters. Boy, the lesson to learn in this thing here is to know what this stuff really is and the sizes of it, whether or not it fits different bicycles. So if you order something, most of the parts on my bicycle is like, when I took my bicycle to the store, the guy said, "This is not supposed to be with this here. The factory does not recommend this." So I thought to myself, damn, is that what the factory teach these people? Phew. So this is good stuff. This is from one of my earlier bikes. Popped. Look at that. Just broke. Why is it break? Who cares? Who knows? Durace. Durace is high-end bicycle component parts from Japan. They were competing with another company. See if I got something here for them. Who are you? Oh, Shimano stuff. Okay, who are you? Sun Tour is another interesting company. They were competing with Durace, Sun Tour. And Durace had many different component parts like General Motors. So did Sun Tour. And they were competing with, I Boy, this is even more weirder. Zeus. Who ever heard of Zeus? Anyway, this is Zeus. And this is a important part because of the number of clusters that's in the rear in order to change the ratio of your pedaling. So this moves the chain one way or the other way, and this is like counter-levered against itself. And these are the pulleys that go around the chain, so when you move the chain, this actually holds the chain and pushes it over. Then, this is the cluster. So this has basically changed radically. When I first started riding, I had a 3-speed bicycle. Sturmy Archer, state of the art, England. English bicycle, English stuff like Raleigh, you know. That's what I used to ride with. I always liked good equipment after my rusty bicycle trip. Then we get into the other area of chains. Boy, I don't know how much money I spent on chains. Due to the amount of riding I was doing, I would wear a chain out inside of 1 year. That would be it. The chain will be stretched, and once it's stretched, it doesn't ride smoothly around the gears. And I tried all kinds of chains. All these chains are very expensive chains, by the way. We're looking at $50 a nut per chain. So basically, what I'm actually looking for now is the part to the brakes. I need to come up with some interesting pedals. So these are the better pedals for basically a fixed wheel, because you got to kind of somebody get in and get out without being clipped in. These here, they're much more interesting. So you just clip your foot in, and that's the end of it. You have to reach down and tighten this up. That was the trick. You have to reach down and tighten it up. And then when you got ready to get out, you got to reach down real quick and knock it loose. Wow, was that interesting? Survived that one, huh? So apparently the reason for this pedal not being what it is that this bearings in here went bad. Again, I wore out the pedals. Can you imagine wearing out stuff? This here is a chain ring. Where's the tongue, by the way? Woo, listen to it. I like the sound of this stuff. Serious metal, by the way. Now, this here is made in America. By who, I don't quite know, but the THRU Bicycle Company, German by the way, that became American. This is a piece of really serious equipment in terms of machining and the forging. Look at the plating on it. It's designed to look good, not to be light. Nowadays, it's designed to be light and look bad. Can you imagine? Even notice this goes to track bike. So this is the size of this here. Basically, it's a 93 inch. No, this is like a 26 inch. 26? Forgot the numbers. Yeah, 26 inch. Which means that this here combined with the back cog, which will be a 13, and this will be a 26, will be equivalent to a 92 inch travel. In other words, you would travel 92 inches for each rotation. which means this is a huge gear for one rotation to travel 92 inches. Okay? So that means that to ride this here with all this inertia here and get up to 50 to 55 miles an hour inside a little small space in time, you can't imagine how much energy it required to do that as opposed to today. Today it requires less energy to do that as opposed to many years ago. I always wanted to kind of like look back at the records and really make a true comparison in terms of the technology at that time and the technology at this time in terms of speed differentiations, because essentially the tracks or the space that these events are taking place in is still fixed, but the equipment have changed. So what is the definitive difference between extreme high-tech equipment and the people who's riding it, and the equipment that was available 50 years ago to the people who's riding it, and that was available to the people 50 years prior to that? Because you have to look at the age of bicycling to begin with, and the technological changes that it's gone through all the way up to today. So that kind of like opens up interesting conversations. So let you know where my head is in terms of the conversation, especially when it gets into bicycling. And I know very little, by the way, compared to a lot of other people. Here's another interesting pedal. I like things like this. Where's your mate, boy? You got a mate? What I'm really looking for is pieces that actually holds the bicycle seat on. That's very important. If I don't find that, I'm in a world of trouble. That's one of the reasons I dumped all this stuff out besides this little history lesson. Nice brake lever all together. All I need is, what do I need? Just need a cable, and I'll go with that. Hey, boy, what are you doing in there? No, this is Italian. Got the mark. Okay. Alright. Now we can talk. Where's the other brake lever? Is there another brake lever in there? You're so strange, man. So strangely different. Anyway, this is Italian. You can see how they begin to shave off weight, including with the casting, to make this, as opposed to the other ones, at least 50% lighter. Can you imagine making it 50% lighter by the material that they're using, and how they were able to actually, again, shave off weight. So this is about the same weight as most of the high-tech equipment now. The only difference being the high-tech equipment have integrated parts in here. You not only have the brake lever, but you also have a shift lever beneath it that you can go one way or you can go the other way. In other words, just no matter how you actually tap the stuff. Wow. That's what I get on my new bicycle. Real technology. Ooh. Have I gotten seriously fast. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to continue to look. Okay, you gotta go. Bye.